Hi everyone, welcome to Techcravers and another video. This is the AYN Thor, or the Odin 3 if you prefer. And honestly, I'm really excited about this one. If you follow this channel for a while, you'll know that AYN has been one of the most important names in the handheld scene. Their very first Odin handheld completely changed the way we look at Android gaming devices. It blew everyone away with its premium build quality and surprisingly strong performance. And it's no aggregation to say that it's the device that really got me into YouTube in the first place. And I have a lot of videos covering every AYN handheld since then. And since that first Odin, AYN has kept momentum going with the Odin 2 lineup, including the Odin 2 Pro, the Odin 2 Mini and of course the Odin 2 Portal. All of them built on the same foundation of delivering sleek design and impressive performance at competitive prices. And now, about 8 months after the Odin 2 Portal launched, it feels like AYN was overdue to show us what's next. With this teaser we finally get a glimpse of where they're heading. So what exactly is the Odin Thor? Well, the teaser itself doesn't reveal too much. What we can see though is that it's a dual screen clamshell handheld, most likely running Android with the possibility of Linux support in the future. There's also a Snapdragon logo shown on the chipset in the teaser, which pretty strongly hints at where the performance might land. But more on that in just a moment. Because AYN later followed up on Instagram with a graphic that gave us clearer details, especially about the screens, and this is where things get really exciting. The top screen is a 6-inch AMOLED panel with full HD resolution and a super smooth 120Hz refresh rate. And the bottom screen is a 3.92-inch OLED display running at 60Hz. That setup gives you a premium main display for gameplay, while the secondary panel opens up tons of new possibilities. Everything from DS, 3DS and Wii U emulation to touch controls to extra menus and even multitasking while gaming. Now, as far as performance goes, just as I said before, nothing is officially confirmed yet, but most speculation points to the Snapdragon 8 Elite as the chipset powering the Odin Thor. That would make this one of the most powerful Android handhelds ever released. At the same time, AYN could also play it safer and use the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, the same chip we saw in the Odin 2 Portal, and honestly that chip was already more than powerful enough to run everything you'd realistically want on an Android, from PSP and GameCube to PS2 and even Wii U in some cases. So either way, whether they go all in with the 8 Elite or stick with the proven 8 Gen 2, this device is going to have more than enough power. The really interesting thing here is that we've kinda reached a plateau in Android emulation performance. Over the last couple of years we've seen steady improvements, Wii U emulation being a good example. But the massive leaps forward have slowed down. Because of that, manufacturers are now trying to innovate in other ways. Instead of just chasing raw horsepower, they're experimenting with new designs, form factors and user experiences. And that's why dual screen devices are suddenly on the rise. We've seen a wave of both Android and x86 clamshells over the past years, and it makes a ton of sense. Not only do they feel fresh and nostalgic, calling back to things like Nintendo DS, but they also open up practical new features for modern gaming. For example, imagine playing through a game on the top screen while following along with a YouTube guide on the bottom, or using an AI tool to ask for tips mid-game and getting answers instantly without having to pause. You could even keep a Discord call or group chat running on the second screen while your main gameplay runs uninterrupted on the first. These are the kind of features that make dual screen devices more than just a gimmick. They actually enhance how we play and interact with games today. So where does this leave AYN? Well, the obvious competitor is the AYANEO Pocket DS, which have been making a splash on Indiegogo. That device already gained a lot of attention, and right now you can still grab a base model for around $401 USD with early backer discounts. So is the Odin Thor meant to go head to head with the Pocket DS? Maybe. It could very well be AYN's direct answer to that device, but some people are also speculating that the Thor could end up being more like an Odin 3 Mini, a more compact but still premium entry in their lineup. Either way, one thing's for sure, competition is heading up fast, and honestly that's the best possible outcome for us consumers. More choice, more innovation and better prices. Now, what do I personally want to see from the Odin Thor? Well, the first is durability. Clamshells live and die by their hinges, so AYN needs to nail the build quality here. I want a killer display. The specs already sound amazing with that 6-inch 120Hz AMOLED, but I'm hoping for excellent brightness, colors and contrast like we saw on the Odin 2 Portal. I also want competitive pricing. If AYN can undercut AYANEO while still delivering premium features, this could be a huge win. And lastly, battery life. 2 screens are demanding, so I really hope that AYN has a smart solution in place. And honestly, even if this doesn't end up being a huge performance leap over the Odin 2, I'd still be perfectly happy if it's essentially a refined dual screen take on the formula. as long as it's priced right. At the end of the day, I think the AYN Thor is one of the most exciting handheld announcements of 2025 so far. AYN has already proven themselves with devices like the AYN 2 Pro, Mini and Portal, and with this teaser it feels like they're ready to push into a whole new space. Whether the Thor ends up being a direct rival to the Pocket DS or something completely on its own, I think it's going to be one of the most talked about handhelds of the year. You can bet I'll be doing everything I can to get one over here on the channel, whether that means AYN sends me a unit or buy it myself. You'll see the full Techcravers breakdown when it launches. Thanks so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments what you think of the AYN Thor. Is this the dual screen handheld you've been waiting for? Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy gaming everyone!